Good evening, Venice, Nokomis, Northport, Inglewood, surrounding South County area. This is the Francesco Abbruzzino show, live and talk show with our worldwide broadcast. Today we're just doing the news, still trying to figure out how to get the phone to work and incorporate that into the talk show portion of the program. I found no joy with that. So let's go ahead and get started with the program. I thought we'd start off with a little check out of the sunset. As I normally do, the South Jetty. Oh, we just missed it. It's going over, looking to the south right now. Seas don't look that rough. Winds are out of the south-southwest. They look rather calm. A little bit of a swell out there, probably a wind-driven one. And let's see, we'll go back to that later. Let's go ahead and knock out the sponsorships. Worldview Bible study on Saturdays at 6 p.m. and tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Join them at 2390 Seaboard Avenue at Venice, Florida. They also have a family bowling night. You can check them out at worldviewchristianfellowship.org and see what they are all about. Also, Yard Corp's Lawn Care. They're specializing in residential lawn care. They're offering any viewers of The Scoop or TVSN a free month of service on a 12-month agreement. So give them a call for your landscaping needs. Talk to Adam and tell him you're interested. Let's go back and see if we can catch that sunset. The cam should be moving over to the north, and there we go. We're barely catching it. Looks like it's going to be a beauty out there today, folks. I can tell you what. You can see the sun over there in the right corner. Let's see. There we go. You got some clouds coming in. That's the rainstorms up to our north, and you got some lows that are combining, and we're gonna get some rain. It looks like on Wednesday and Thursday. You can see everybody out there just checking out the sunset. So good things happening there. Let's go ahead and get started with the news. First, the statewide news and the medical marijuana measure. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people want it on the ballot. Well, it made it on a 4-3 decision today. John Morgan, who spent $4 million of his own dollars, was able to get it on the ballot for this next election cycle. So you'll be seeing that, and you'll be able to vote yay or nay on it. So medical marijuana is on the ballot in Florida. Also, statewide, Scott, he's asking for $542 million increase in the K through 12 spending. He released a $18.84 billion request to the school systems today. It's less than $1.2 billion. It's less than the $1.2 billion Scott asked for last year, but he's still saying it's significant, and it'll go a long way for the school system. Now, what everybody's been talking about, this is the damage on 75. I still am not clear as to what happened. Right now, they have one lane open on the southbound traffic, and it will probably be at least 3 to 4 more days before all the lanes are opened up. So if you have to head north of University and then come back home, expect some major delays for the next few days until they do get that fixed. And as I get more information, I'll put it out there. I don't know if someone hit it or if it's just crumbling. But I know a lot of individuals had some major delays getting there. I think one of the fans on the page said she sat there for 2.5 hours before they opened up the one left lane. She couldn't get off at the exit because she was right there. And I'm sure that really put a bummer on the whole day for her and her plans, along with whoever else was stuck in that. All right, next story. This is on I-75. I don't know if I'm a fan of this. It's an alternate route proposed, and it's going to run through the Carlton Preserve. They're saying they need this as a hurricane evacuation route. They say that you got 75 and 41, but if 41's knocked out due to a hurricane, 75 is going to be congested, and so they want to come up with another route, and that's going to go through Carlton Preserve, which is going to rankle the environmentalists, wildlife advocates, and nature enthusiasts, I'm sure. The route will include existing Toledo Blade Boulevard, which extends through Northport, Charlotte, and through Port Charlotte and Northport. So they go on and on, but basically it's going to extend from Northport all the way up to State Road 72. So we'll see what happens to that. It's just right now it's something that's being thrown out there on the suggestion table. The next one was from Howard, and I forgot that you guys can't see too much of this. So one thing I did forget to do is make it large for you guys so that you can understand it. So let me basically cover it. This is the page, the Venice Area Citizens for Responsible Development. Well, they're concerned about the development that's taking place out west of border. This individual, Pat Shoemake Wyman, sent a letter in. He just said, hey, look, guys, you're going to do this. It's going to create urban sprawl, sustainable development, new utility lines need to be brought in and all that stuff. Smart growth, protective natural environments. All that protective natural environment is going to go to the wayside. He says from the 2030 plan, I think he meant 2050 plan, North Venice is located east of I-75 and extends to Maca River, so there's some conflicts there. But basically he goes on, he just lists about 28 different reasons as to why the building should not be taking place. I know they really got a lot of momentum out there. They've had, I think, over 400 petitions signed so far. The individuals that seem to be for it are the individuals in the construction industry that can make the money, the electricians, the plumbers, the home builders. Most other people are saying, look, don't we have enough growth in Venice? When's enough going to be enough? It's growth, growth, growth. We don't know if we need all this growth, and we don't know if we need to continue tearing down the environment out there by the Wildlife Center. You look at a statistic came out for Sarasota County, and they noted that Venice and Northport had such a large vacancy rate on existing properties out there that was a bit ridiculous, which makes these new buildings even more concerning. And I know we already have a couple developments that are going up throughout the Venice area. And you add this to it, what's next? We're going to need better roads, because I can tell you now the roads can't handle the congestion that's out there, especially when the snowbirds come into town. So it's going to be a continued issue. This is the next one, and we can switch over to the web shot for this one. And this is the new Jeff Schrum, the newly hired Director of Community Development for the City of Venice. And basically, he's replacing the individual that, unfortunately, as you may or may not recall, was caught out at Casperson's with his assistant doing some things, and he was terminated. It's an excellent job. This guy's going to make $84,000 a year. He moves down with his 4-year-old and his wife Kim. Basically, his job is going to be a lot larger than where he was at Bellevue, and it's going to be he's going to have a list of things to do: the comprehensive plan to allow development of the airport on land, the demolition of the wrangling circus, working with all the planners, and then of course the issue I just brought up with Walter's group page, the building east of 75 and any other build outs that they want or looking towards. On another issue, this one I just wrote, Lisa, I just posted this. This is on that fish threat that came out the other day. A lot of fish were dying in a pond after the county came out and did some kind of fertilization. County says, hey, whoa, it's not us, it's just the increased oxygen. Just talked to Lisa. She said not only are the fish dying, a ton of fish dying, I shouldn't say all of them, but they had a pelican that passed away. I haven't gotten confirmation if that's from the fishing hook or not, but the way the hook was there, I don't think it's related to that. They've had a cat pass away, and they've had a seagull pass away. She said the county agricultural department was out there today, so it's interesting. What are they spraying in the water, and why? Why do we need that hazardous event of material to kill the weeds around the lake when it's killing these fish and birds and wildlife? I don't know. I think the county ought to re-examine that one. The next story came to us on an individual. He had written, or he was interviewed, or he wrote the Gondo. I'm not sure the specifics on it. But Monty Andrews wrote the post. He's a guest columnist. And he's basically saying, look, we need some bike lanes along the bridge. My thought is, are you crazy? Look, you got enough room to walk your bikes on the North Bridge, which is the KML bridge, I think now. I think it says everywhere, and common sense usually dictates you walk your bike across the bridge. It's not going to kill you. Someone said, well, what if you can't walk? Well, then don't ride your bike there. Don't go that way. Figure out another form of transportation. I don't think it's worth it for us as a city to go out and spend millions upon millions of dollars to create a safer bike lane so that we can get a designation of a gold. What's next? I don't know if you guys know this, but that Legacy Bridge that goes over 41 costs about $4 million. Are we going to spend another $4 million, $5 million, $6 million with the way inflation and everything works to build one across the intercoastal so that we can be in the gold designation? How much revenue is it really going to bring in to be a gold designation? So really, folks, we need to think seriously about this. It's getting a little out of control with the bike friendliness. I'm all for it, but I don't know. All right, next thing. This was a question a lot of people were asking, and it's from Althea's, and it's from the individual that the owner, Gregory Sylvia. Never met him. He has some legitimate concerns, and it's, I guess, for the third year in a row, they've had that festival in Miami, and they've blocked access to the parking in the back alley. So people were not able to drive there and park and visit his establishment. He says he lost revenue from it. This may be true. I don't doubt that one bit. However, how much revenue did he gain from all those people? I don't know if you've ever been on Miami during the craft fair. That place is packed. People everywhere. Somebody said, well, they're eating that food at the festival and not his food. Well, no, there's only when I go there was one sausage guy, and it wasn't that attractive looking, and I wouldn't have eaten there. When I go to those events, I go out to the local restaurants. So I don't know if that's necessarily true. There was parking nowhere, yet people were finding a way there. I don't know if Gregory's got a valid point. I get his concern, and if he wants to address it for future stuff, but he's threatening litigation and stuff in the court, which, it's a little ridiculous. I've had to deal with him one time. I wasn't a huge fan of him. I went to the restaurant, wasn't a huge fan of the restaurant, so I probably will never go back there. So I wish Greg the best of luck. The next one is the historic warplanes. Not sure if you made it out there to the Venice airport. They were out there for 3 days. $12 for a doll. It's a little expensive to see the planes. They're out there every year. I didn't make it out. I heard it was nice. They had a couple people, more than a couple people. It had to be worthwhile. It's now up in Sarasota if you'd like to catch that event. And then we have the burnt house issue. I'm going to try something as we're doing this so you guys don't have to look at my mugshot, which I'm sure you don't want to. This is the burnt house on Venice, on the island of Venice, I think. Let's see. This was from the fire chief, James Warman. It's a press release. Basically, over at 504 School Street, there was a structure fire. An individual came on. She's related to her. I think it was her sister and her niece, and they said that one of them was pretty burnt up. Let's see, it was the daughter. She sustained second and third degree burns. As you can see, their house is pretty much a mess. So hopefully the community is going to pull together and help this family out however they can. Northport. I talked to Commissioner Cook. She's a city commissioner. Right now, I think they're having their meeting. They're deciding the dispatch issue, just like Venice. What are they going to decide? No idea. More than likely, they're going to go with the county assuming control of the dispatch, follow Venice's lead. I'm saying that based upon the previous meeting where both entities got together and met, and I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. So, what I talked to Cheryl about was she wanted to drop off a COG meeting with the school board where she called them out on the Lamorque issue, the health quality air issues or gas issues in the drywall, as Charles correcting people on the page today. So she gave me the CD. I got to listen to it still, but I asked her about Warm Mineral Springs. It's on everybody's mind, right? Warm Mineral Springs. When's it temporarily going to open? The county agreed. The city agreed. We got $5.5 million we paid. Let's start generating some revenue. Well, not that easy. They have, I found out, a management agreement, a short-term agreement, a long-term agreement. Management agreement is so that someone can go in there and manage the water so that people can go in and enjoy it temporarily. Short-term is so that they can get someone in there for a year or two to manage it. Don't ask me why there's a short-term and a management one. I would think there should just be one there. It just involves more red tape, more voting, going before the commission, going before the county because both parties have to agree. Doesn't make sense at all. Cheryl did not know where that came from. She didn't seem to think it made sense either. And then there's a long-term one which has already gone out to bid, so she's going to be discussing that. I did learn that Little Salt, she found out that Little Salt is going, that Miami doesn't want any more, the University of Miami, and they were thinking about giving it to the county. And it was never offered to the city of Venice, even though it's, or city of Northport, even though it's on their property. She didn't even hear about it except for the news. And the way Cheryl was talking, Commissioner Cheryl, was that she's not made aware of a lot of this stuff except through the news. And there seems to be a big communication breakdown where the city's not getting information down there in Northport. Seems to be a huge breakdown between the county and city. Something they need to get resolved so that the city can function properly for its residents. So a lot of times I always hear people criticize the city, which is, happens. I criticize some of the moves. You can't agree with every move out there. I voted for Mayor Hollick, but I don't always agree with a lot of his actions or his initiatives. And that's expected the same with the citizens in Northport. But come on, they deserve better than this. The county needs to work with them. I think both sides need to get in a room, battle it out, battle royale, finish it, get done with it, move on with business. That's what I say. Let's see. Next one is, there was a boat and trailer stolen from the driveway in Port Charlotte, and they're looking for it, and they put this out in Northport just to see if anybody showed up there. It's a 2014 Continental aluminum boat trailer bearing Florida tag 167NVJ. Anybody with any information, please call Crime Stoppers 800-780-8477. I don't have a picture of it. Here's a group of kids. Okay, I'm already on that thing right now. Group of kids, 22 students from 7 Sarasota County high schools recently captured the top honors from the Education Foundation of Sarasota. And some of the individuals from our area are Azul Diaz from Pineview, Yuen Liu from Venice High, Alina Timshina from Northport, and that's it. So, congratulations to all of those young people, and on a job well done. That's PGT. They announced today through Market Watch that they're launching a new vinyl door, French door, at the International Builder Show. So once again, they're coming out with new designs, new options out there. They're growing, one of our largest employers in this area. So good job to them. Something I'm going to start throwing in here. I'm going to start expanding it. If you notice, I put a lot more Florida in. So I'm going to put the markets in because they've been pretty interesting. They were down over 300 points just the other day. They're down over 41 points today. It's getting a little scary. There's a lot of issues out there which we can go into, and I'll start covering more in the future. But basically, well, let's just leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. So all the markets were down. They were down again today by 41 points, and the NASDAQ down by 44. That's a 1.07% drop. So markets are a little skittish right now and reaching some lows since back in 2013. Let's go over to the Venice Print Center. They are offering 15% off to any new print jobs that come into their business. Locally owned by Randy and Laura and Lori, and they're doing some great things out there, and these two locals. So check them out, 15% off. Just mention that you saw the ad here on the TVSN or the Scoop, and you can reach them at 496-9009. Over to the weather. I was just watching it before I came into the show. Like I said, a front's coming through. It's going to be a high of 75 tomorrow. The rain's going to start coming in like I showed you on that beautiful sunset we were having. Let's see how that sunset's doing over there. Yeah, we'll get regenerated here. There we go. Okay, let's go back over to our weather. All right. 75 tomorrow with rain, and then the front moves through. It's going to be a high of 64 on Wednesday, a little bit more wind and lots of rain. For you surfers, it looks like Wednesday and Thursday will be the swell, probably waist to chest high. Right now the winds are out of the south, but they'll change out of the north once the front comes through. And so much for Surfline not working with me today. Okay, the new one, Team Loveland and United Way Walkathon. They want you to participate in the 8th Annual United Way Walkathon. I posted that on the Venice Scoop page. For information, you can call 493-0016, extension 302. Walkers who get at least $25 in sponsorship by February 3rd are eligible for a free t-shirt. Good things out there at the Loveland Center. Also, Relay for Life. It's coming up on Friday, April 25th. They're still looking for teams. I think this is years past where they had 25 teams, 229 participants, raised $10,084. That might have been last year, but they're looking for more teams. They're a little short right now, and they're looking for more involvement. The Indians repeat at the Bidwell meet. They did pretty good all around. Venice led by 4 champions, finished with 242 points. The winners there were Venice champions were Bo Williams at 120, Bryce Balsinger, who's voted at a lower weight, CJ Trammell, 145, and Nick Vistroulis at 170. Also, Lemon Bay had someone that performed pretty good. Where is he at down here? Lemon Bay mentioned these are the individuals that achieved Super 6 recognition. Jack Lip, Dominic Schofield, Riley Castle, Bobby Kaspolich, and Artem Lundovic. Okay, that was a tough one to spit out, and I thought my Italian was. All right. Suncoast Sports Now. They're doing a hat trick. Talking points for Northport against Charlotte. And I put this on the Port Charlotte page. This is one of the championship games they're going into. And they take on Port Charlotte. And I believe it is it tonight? I think it's tonight. But yeah, you can read that on the Northport Scoop. And lastly, out of Northport, the New Hope Community Church. They're offering information on single parents and widows in our city keep their vehicles maintained and safe. It's free. You can check them out. It's on February 1st at 1 p.m. All right, so I did, believe it or not, spend some time today trying to figure out how to take incoming phone calls. I think I'm going to end up going back to the mixer thing and trying a different concept with that because the things I tried today just did not work out. I think it'll be a golden idea to get those incoming calls, debate issues. Like I said, it's going to be primarily, we're going to focus on a lot of I'm going to go for an hour. It's going to focus on Florida, the county, and then all of our local area stuff. I might do our local area first, then county, and then state, and then do national and international, because a lot of people are just here for the local stuff. Some people may be on for the long term. Not sure how many people are watching the live show. I usually get a count of the recorded one, which, is growing. It's about 50 people a day. So hopefully we'll get those numbers up some more, especially when you're able to talk and debate the issue and all that good stuff. So for Francesco Abbruzzino, this is a worldwide presentation. Everybody have a great night and a better tomorrow.